tomatoes, basil, olive oil, but discover the secret ingredient that really gives this a kick. Thank you. On today's show,
Let's start something that gives back to the earth.
hi-ho, it's off to the farm we go. Then Princess is ready for the ball with Dad.
I'm especially lucky with having 3 girls. It just means there's a lot of demands for my time on the dance floor. And I'm not being a great dancer, that's a challenge.
And hit the ground running for the Whistler Half Marathon.
Running 21 kilometers is definitely a challenge.
Putting you through the paces today on The Express. Welcome to The Express on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald. And join me for a little sampling at the production kitchen of Nonna Pia's Balsamic Reductions here in Function Junction. It's the honorary 6th food group here in Whistler. Sustainable and local eating is at the heart of our next story as well. With the rising popularity of the 100-mile diet, organic farming, and sustainable eating, this new method of farming is definitely getting some attention.
It's so beautiful to work here. It's like a wood carver, carving pieces out of the forest. I was in the business world, but I thought enough is enough. Now let's start something that gives back to the earth.
At a riverside lodge tucked away in the forests of Paradise Valley, biodynamics instructor Ferdinand von Druska begins an afternoon session in a casual classroom setting.
Whatever you have around you has a memory, whether it's a stone, whether it's a cow manure. Biodynamics is a dynamic, natural approach and has mainly the healing aspect right now in the foreground. And healing, when we look at the world, it's sorely needed.
People have come from all different backgrounds to this 20-acre demonstration farm for a spring course in biodynamics to get a better understanding of one of the oldest non-chemical agricultural methods.
This is basically gardening with herbal remedies, herbal medicine.
Do you start from the middle and go from the outside?
Students are taught how to make various liquid preparations and how to effectively compost with the help of resident cows. What goes out goes back in.
We are very much recycling everything we have here. There is nothing going to waste. But with biodynamics, it takes everything and transforms it into friable, wonderful soil. Put the whole thing in here, yeah? Yeah, okay.
The philosophies practiced at Cedar Lodge Farm are not unique to the area. Over 50 countries practice biodynamic farming.
People come from Mexico, from Nepal, from Europe, from South America. We have a house full of up to 50 or 60 people at a time. And we have 3,500 visitors a year, but we are the best kept secret here in the corridor.
Those that do find their way to this farm amongst the trees have a hard time leaving. 10 years after her first visit, Sarah Weber still returns time and time again.
I've received a lot in terms of a broader understanding and outlook on the world and seeing how things are interconnected and how we as humans can participate in making the world healthy.
The land is not going to be worth more than what you have taken out of or put into. By and large, the land on which we are is the land of my children.
Opening his family home to the world, Ferdinand shares his understanding of how our actions can have a positive impact on the planet. From Paradise Valley, I'm Jessica Turner for Shaw TV.
Cedar Lodge is going to be hosting biodynamic lessons every Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. Backyard gardeners are welcome. Nonna Pia is branching away from their holy trinity of balsamic reductions, classic, rosemary, and strawberry fig. We're going to learn a little bit more about these new small batches coming up. But first, every prince needs a princess, and this lucky dad has 3. 3 little girls to kiss, 3 little girls to love, and 3 busy little girls to get ready for the ball.
It's really exciting getting ready because it only happens once a year.
We've been like painting our nails and getting the makeup and
curling her hair.
Special preparations for a special night. 6-year-old Isabella Ellott and her two sisters, 9-year-old Olivia and 11-year-old Savannah, look forward to the father-daughter dance every year, almost as much as their dad.
Too old for just a speech I think this one is my 7th, and with Isabella now at, she's 6, so I've probably got another 6 with her, so I'll end up doing 13 or 14 of them. So it is wonderful. Sometimes, you know, some people think it's a life sentence, but it's actually fantastic, and I'll be sad when the last one comes. Have you look okay?
The father-daughter dance is a rite of passage for Whistler dads, a night to celebrate that special spark unique only to a dad and daughter. For Andrew, that magic comes ×3.
I'm massively outnumbered, I love it. I'm especially lucky with having 3 girls. It just means there's a lot of demands for my time on the dance floor. And not being a great dancer, that's a challenge.
What Dad falls short in dancing, he more than makes up for in the time he spends with his 3 beautiful girls.
He spends a lot of time with me. He used to be my old soccer coach, and he helps with my math after school every day.
Okay, relax. Go.
One of the nice things my dad has done for me is probably telling me how much he loves me and giving me hugs and kisses.
It's Mom who kisses her 3 princesses and prince as they head to the ball.
Win the competition for best dancing.
Let's go.
The girls don't sound convinced, but all 4 arrive to great excitement at the Fairmont Chateau, where hundreds of other young girls and fathers flood into the main ballroom, where the dance floor awaits.
How do you do it?
He dances like Michael Jackson. He does the moonwalk and all the stuff that Michael Jackson does. He's okay at dancing. I like dancing with my dad, and there's like dancing competitions, and we don't win those a lot, but it's fun.
Priceless in more ways than one, this father-daughter dance is a gift of quality time that will stay with these young girls long after the dance is done.
It's just a wonderful occasion, and just enjoy it, because it tends to be over very quickly.
But here, little girls stay little girls, at least in their father's eyes, if only for a dance. Apparently, Andrew's late-night rendezvous with Michael Jackson finally paid off this year. He made it to the top 4 in the dance competition. Congratulations! Nonna Balsamic reductions have become a household name in Whistler. The business has only been operating for a little over 3 years, but there's a lot of history behind its product.
We're going to put on a batch of our strawberry fig reduction today. In our kettle over here, we've got about 240 liters of balsamic vinegar from Modena, and we use a 6-year aged balsamic is what we start with. And then I've got about 50 pounds of strawberries. When in season, we try to use local, so the Pemberton strawberries. Balsamico Tradizionale originates in Modena, which is in Reggio Emilia in Italy, and they'll age it in different types of wooden casks for up to 100 years, some of them.
Things are done a little quicker here. Tell us about the process and how it works.
Well, what we're trying to do is we're actually trying to cheat the aging process, because when they make traditional balsamic vinegar, they'll age it in wooden casks, and the casks do have a hole cut into them. So what happens over time is you get natural evaporation. What we try to do is speed up that process, because I don't have 25 years to make it. So we'll actually use evaporate it mechanically, so with heat in our large steam kettle. A reduction is a concentration of flavors. So typically you'll see a reduction used as a finishing sauce, but also to add another complex concentrated flavor dimension to the plate.
So what I want to know is, what do we do with this balsamic reduction once it's done?
Well, reductions can be used and are most often used as finishing sauces. So finishing off protein, seafood, grilled vegetables. Here what I'm doing is I'm going to prepare a little bruschetta snack for you, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to finish it off with a bit of the classic reduction. So once it comes out of the oven, just a little drizzle of reduction on there, and that adds another complex flavor dimension to the basil and the garlic and the fresh tomatoes that are already in there. I've been working on a couple of new flavors that will launch this year at the Whistler Farmers Market, one being a raspberry peppercorn reduction. We're also this summer going to be opening our kitchen when we do production to the general public, and in here we're going to be featuring not just our regular line of reductions, but I do a lot of research and development where we make small batch, and I'm like the mad scientist testing different products. We've done a chipotle mango, I've done a chocolate espresso reduction. So what you're actually going to see on the shelf is going to be a mystery to everyone, even including me, until I actually make them.
This looks incredible.
Now careful, it's hot.
All right. You can find more recipes at nonnapias.com. My favorite way to have it is with a fresh loaf from Purebred Bakery. It's located just next door here in Function Junction. Here's another tip. Still to come, one Squamish resident puts the moves on his alter ego.
Step in this ring and go toe-to-toe with TKO.
And recognizing one of Canada's leaders in cable.
You gotta get up in the morning and you gotta have a vision and you gotta have a goal.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by Artina's handcrafted Canadian jewelry, 387 Water Street in Gastown and Government Street in Victoria.
Welcome back to the production kitchen at Nonna Pia's Balsamic Reductions in Function Junction. I'm your host Nicole Fitzgerald, and you're watching The Express. All-star wrestling. It's theatrical, it's physical, and it's a lot of hard work. Squamish wrestler Cody Smith is up for the challenge. He doesn't shy from it, he body slams it.
Usually a mean, keen fighting machine. But today, he's swapping the ring for the lens in training for when he becomes famous.
All right, Cody, show me some muscles.
Famous for wrestling, that is. Meet Cody TKO Smith.
You step in this ring and go toe-to-toe with TKO. I'll make a man out of you, princess.
A Squamish personal trainer by day.
Attaboy, that's what I want to see.
And pro all-star wrestler by night. Already well known for his ability to knock out an opponent in just one move, now he's well on his way to becoming the best in the business.
It gets very competitive, gets very serious. The whole goal is you want to become champions. Started off doing it just being, we're called jobbers, just going in there and getting your butt kicked and, you know, just making somebody else look good. And now we're tag team champions. Yeah, I won the 10-man battle royal as well.
Awesome. Flex those muscles for me.
Winning title belts in a competition that's not just about fancy costumes and fake hits.
I don't count how many bones I've broken. It's a long list. You know, you start off by taking like a slap in the face, going all the way up to going through a flaming table full of thumbtacks. It gets pretty hardcore. There's, you know, nothing fake about that. You put your body on the line just so you get that reaction from the crowd, so they want to see you again.
Now the TKO's looking to take on the big guys at Canada's heavyweight titles, but not before a lot more hard work and broken bones.
As you go, you know, 6 to 8 months of grueling hardcore training. Humans are learning machines, so you got to get your body adapted to the punishment that it has to endure on a daily, nightly basis. In here 5 days a week, training down in Surrey where the ring is kept. You know, it's not an easy task, but, you know, it's well worth the reward.
Try to set up that foot, pull it.
And when he's not wrestling it out in the ring or sweating it out in the gym, you'll find Cody either here in jiu-jitsu class, doing meditation, coaching kids at football, or being a personal trainer. A full schedule for a rising wrestling star.
When you mess with the bull, you get the horns. You know, it's just scratching the tip of the iceberg. I want to go for that heavyweight title. You know, you got years and years ahead of me, so, watch out.
Training with the TKO in Squamish, I'm Alana Ponsonby for Shaw TV.
Cody also has plans to teach mixed martial arts classes in Squamish. Nonna Balsamic Reductions has been operating for more than 3 years. They produce nearly 22,000 bottles. Meet another ambitious business entrepreneur. He's a familiar name around town.
Always a lot of weaknesses are overcome by hard work. That's number one. You got to get up in the morning, and you got to have a vision, and you got to have a goal.
Meet the man who grew a small cable business in Alberta into one of Canada's largest media companies, James Robert Shaw, who is the 2011 Distinguished Entrepreneur of the Year, as honored by the University of Victoria's Gustafson School of Business.
I am pleased and honored to present to you the 2011 Distinguished Entrepreneur of the Year Award.
It's because of your employees, I'm even here. It's because of everyone that's done the job and everyone that's worked so hard. And yet the word distinguished kind of blows me away.
J.R. Shaw has received multiple awards and honors, including the Order of Canada and Alberta Order of Excellence. He has also received 3 honorary Doctor of Law degrees and was recently inducted into the Cable Hall of Fame. And after such an accomplished career, at 76, JR still believes that the secret to success is really quite simple.
It's hard work and some luck and good people around you. Always hire better people than you. I often wondered, well, what are they going to say about me when I'm gone? We've got to get rid of that old bugger or whatever else, But, I would like to be remembered, it says at the end of the book, by what you give. It's what you give, not what you receive.
It's amazing to think of how many lives have been touched by this humble man. Thank you, JR, for helping and inspiring me and so many others to go for our dreams. For Shaw TV in Victoria, I'm Karen Elgersma.
If you're going to dream, dream big. Nonna Balsamic Reductions started out as just a small Christmas craft fair, and now it's grown, distributing to 100 retail outlets across Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Stay tuned, we've got more local tastes coming your way.
After the break, get a snapshot of what it takes to ready for Whistler's half marathon.
Oh my gosh, how am I going to get to the 21 kilometers? But by taking these measures and the suggested guideline that I got from the website, definitely doable and able to build on.
You're watching Shaw TV.
Welcome back to The Express on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald. Nonna Balsamic Reductions. This is where the magic happens. And they have new flavors coming out this summer. You can sample them here in Function Junction. Well, it's that time in the show again to hit the open road. This week's road trip takes us to the Okanagan.
Travel along with us on the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip as we explore the many marvelous attractions and activities of beautiful British Columbia.
This week on Road Trip, we head to South Kelowna, where nestled high in the hills above the city is a goat dairy farm owned by some folks who immigrated to Canada from Israel less than a decade ago. And when they moved to the area, they had no idea they would one day own and operate one of the valley's most beloved tourist attractions. They started experimenting with making cheese from goat's milk when they discovered their infant daughter was lactose intolerant. And from their small kitchen grew a family business.
Hi, baby.
Bungie, don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. In 2003, the Okanagan Mountain Park fire almost destroyed the farm. And the family made news when reporters discovered that not only did Offrey and her husband evacuate themselves and their daughters, they also had to evacuate a small herd of goats. And that little tidbit helped bring national attention to the farm, even though Kelowna tried to keep it a secret.
You're going the wrong direction, you silly.
Are they a specific kind of goat?
They're a mix of 3 breeds, Toggenburg, French Alpine, and La Mancha. And look at Whitey, look at her.
She loves the camera.
She's such a female. She loves the camera, look at her.
I haven't been to the farm in more years than I'd like to admit. I haven't visited since the fire, and to my delight, the products available at the farm has expanded to include cold delights. It's chocolate hazelnut goat's milk gelato. Okay. That was really good. It's really creamy. Wow. And 20 varieties of fragrant, flavorful cheese, both hard and soft, young and aged.
All the recipes for the cheese that we're making are our own creation. My husband Offer, he's the cheesemaker, and all the ideas for all the variety of different cheeses, it's all his creation.
It seems the farm has become an unofficial stop for those taking wine tours in the valley.
This one is our Blue Velvet. It's similar to a camembert style. It's got a bit of an earthy flavor.
Longtime staffer Eve says it's a sobering station because a big part of discovering what cheese you like is, of course, by sampling. How many of you folks live in Kelowna?
She lives in, that's a sister to my wife.
And where are you guys from?
Pitt Melrose. We're just up here to visit her.
And this is one of your stops on your road trip?
Well, we were at a vineyard the other day, and we saw the brochure, so we decided we'd come up.
Organized tours are available for groups of 8 adults or more. The tour includes a look into the dairy plant, a visit into the beautiful aging cellar, and of course, a look at the goats. Who is this again, sorry?
Bungie.
And he's a boy?
He's a boy. I try to tame him, but I don't think he does. He's not bottle feeding, so I don't think it's going to work, but he's so cute.
He is cute, and will he fulfill some sort of legacy as he gets older here?
Yeah, hopefully.
So will he eventually be the main billy goat here?
If I'll tame him, if he'll agree to be tamed, which I don't think so.
Even if he knew what could possibly be in store for him?
Yeah.
The farm is open 7 days a week until October. Reporting for Quality Assured Road Trip on Shaw TV, I'm Tammy Williams in South Kelowna.
Entertaining and informative, the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip. Weekends on Shaw TV. Always something new and exciting.
Now, if you were to take a little of that goat cheese and add some tomato and basil and top it off with some balsamic, you've got a winning combination. You can find more recipes at their website. Our next story is also a recipe for success. Later on in the show, what motivates this mom to revamp her schedule, workouts, and eating habits? May is Be Kind to Animals Month here in Canada. There's a lot of ways to celebrate. You can make a donation to your local animal shelter, or you can buy BC SPCA certified eggs and meat, or better yet, adopt an animal. I've got a few pups in mind.
And thanks for visiting the Squamish SPCA. Here's some adoptable animals. So this is Hobo. He's approximately 10 years old. He has a very sad story to tell, so come in and ask our staff and we can tell you. He is a neutered male, super affectionate and quiet, would make a lovely companion for a senior. Loves to lay in the sun and eat and sleep. So this is Swagger. He is about 5 years old. He's a neutered male, a little camera shy. He's very sweet and outgoing, not a huge fan of the other cats. Probably would prefer an indoor-outdoor home, considering he was a stray and outside for a while. But he's a very affectionate, nice little boy. And handsome.
Welcome to WAG in Whistler. This afternoon I am showing you a few wonderful puppies that we have for adoption. They are almost 4 weeks old now, so they'll be ready to go to their forever homes in about 4 weeks. What they are is a mystery. They are purebred mutts, but they are very loving, very sweet and very fun. We have Cookie, who is the proud mother of 3 beautiful little kittens. Cookie is a chocolate tortoiseshell Siamese cross, and her kittens look like they have a little bit of that and maybe some tabby in it. So if you're looking for a beautiful Siamese, she's absolutely the perfect one for you. And I think her kittens are going to be very similar to her.
Love pets, love animals. The SPCA and WEG are always looking for volunteers to care for the Sea to Sky's cutest residents. New news on the dog sled investigations in Whistler are posted on the BC SPCA website. Just visit the Squamish link below. Hundreds upon hundreds of competitors are going to be hitting the ground running for the Whistler Half Marathon. But it's not just elite athletes who are switching into gears for training.
What motivated me to run was having a goal for something. So I enjoy getting outside and being active, but to actually have a goal for something is important for me.
One step at a time, Squamish resident Shauna Lang gets closer to her aim of running the sold-out Whistler Half Marathon this June.
Running 21 kilometers is definitely a challenge, and the amount of time for me personally to do one thing for 2.5 hours is new for me. I usually multitasking and doing a whole bunch of things, so it's a mental challenge for me as well.
This busy working mother of twins is part of a new breed of runners, looking for something to challenge their limits and to do something positive for themselves.
Our early adopters of this, when we first launched the event last summer, it was very much that kind of moms with young kids, the female 30 to 40 demo. About 73% of our registrants are women.
With the rising popularity of long-distance running, Shauna is finding running partners along the way. And with the help of an online training program, her efforts are paying off.
I remember back a few weeks ago where I was running 5-6 kilometers and thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get to the 21 kilometers? But by taking these measures and the suggested guideline that I got from the website, it's really nice. So I did 17 on Friday, so I know that those last few kilometers will be definitely doable and able to build on.
On race day, the 21.1 kilometer race will take Shauna and the other 850 participants on a scenic journey through 5 of Whistler's neighborhoods, both starting and finishing at a symbolic landmark.
The area here that was developed for use during the games time has sort of this intrinsic sports culture built into it. I mean, we've got the rings in the background, the Olympic cauldron in the background. There's so few places in the world that have that. So for a start-finish line,
a unique experience, one Shauna eagerly awaits.
My goal absolutely is to not stop. I want to keep running the whole time and look forward to the finish line and being able to celebrate and say that we did the Whistler, the first half marathon.
From the scenic trails of Whistler, I'm Jessica Turner for Shaw TV.
This sold-out event is sure to attract crowds. Volunteers are needed. You can find out more details at their website. Nonna Pia's Balsamic Reductions. You can come down here in the summer and do some sampling. It's just one of the many things to do here in the Sea to Sky. Here are a few others. Step up to the mic for the May Day Madness edition. The Creative 5 Eclectic. Play a song, read a poem, juggle, recite Shakespeare. Anything goes for a night of eclectic entertainment. There's only one space left. Sign up for the Chili Tom's Beginners Acrylic class, June 15th to 17th. It's one of more than a dozen art classes being offered as part of the Whistler Art Workshops on the Lake series. Squamish Nation artist Alice Gus lends insight into the significance of drumming to her people at a drum-making workshop. Each participant will make one 14-inch deer-hide drum and stick. Function Junction is turning into quite the foodie central these days. You can pick up a bottle of Nonna Pia's Balsamic Reduction here and then head over next door to Purebred Bakery to pick up a loaf. It's an unbeatable combination. And that wraps up this week's show. If you'd like to see your story idea on the Express, drop us a line at sea2skyexpress@shaw.ca. You can also get our show on YouTube. Just search Shaw TV Whistler. Join us next week. We're horsing around in Squamish. So until then, from all of us on Shaw TV, thanks for watching.
Nicole Fitzgerald's wardrobe provided by Peak Performance.
Hairstyling by the Loft Salon, makeup by Beauty Mark, and ski equipment provided by Nordica.
POV camera, courtesy of Contour.
While filming on the mountain, parking provided by the Fire Rock Lounge.